sacrifice to accelerate. If we try to do every single good idea that we have, we're going to end up diluting our impact on any of the ideas. We have to be willing to let go of some ideas in order to focus on a few ideas. BMW has a great ad. One of my all-time favorite ads is a BMW ad. There is this picture of this beautiful BMW car. And above the picture of the car, in very large letters and quotation marks, it says, "No." Now, I thought that was kind of odd, because I thought the idea was when a customer sees your product, for the customer to say, "Yes." But this one said, "No." In the small print, underneath the picture of the car, it says, at BMW, we say no to a lot of good ideas so we can say yes to a few great ideas. That is great advice. Be willing to say no to a lot of good ideas so that you can say yes to the few great ideas that are going to really drive your brand forward. In 1997, when Steve Jobs came back to Apple Computer as the interim CEO, Apple was on the verge of becoming obsolete. They were trying to make a product for every conceivable customer need. So they had dozens and dozens of different products. Steve Jobs said, "Look, we are going to have a 2x2 platform. We're going to sell to professional users, and we're going to sell to personal users. We're going to have a desktop offering, and we're going to have a laptop offering." And in that framework, Apple began to focus their energies on making extraordinary computers. In 2001, they extended their brand a little bit to get into MP3 players with the creation of the iPod. The iPod came out in October of 2001, 1 month after the disaster of September the 11th. The critics said the letters IPOD must stand for idiots price our devices. They said nobody would pay $400 for a little device where you have to pay $1 per song to download the music. As usual, the critics were wrong. Not too long ago, Apple sold its 100th millionth iPod, and in the first 6 weeks on the market, they sold 1 million iPhones. By narrowing their focus to doing a few things, they were able to drive their results forward. I wanted to share with you this quote. This is from Jonathan Ive, the chief designer of the iPod. He said, "We don't make very much stuff. That's a very important part of our approach to what we do, which is to not do a lot of unnecessary stuff, but just to focus and really try very sincerely to care so much about the few things that we do. I think one of the things we are good at as a team is gently moving these fragile ideas along a bit so they become just a little more robust, and you can actually start to see what they are." I want to share with it one sentence one more time. We don't make very much stuff. That's a very important part of our approach to what we do, which is to not do a lot of unnecessary stuff, but just to focus and really try very sincerely to care so much about the few things that we do. What I'm really talking about here is the 1-3-6 exercise. I encourage you to do the 1-3-6 exercise. The one is, what is the one most important outcome that you want to improve in the next 12 months? The 3 is, what are the 3 things that you can do that would have the greatest positive impact on improving that one outcome? And the 6 is, what are the 6 things that you need to stop doing so you have the time and the energy to do the 3 things you know would have the greatest positive impact on improving that outcome? Now, when I do this exercise with my clients for the first time, this is usually what happens. People have no problem at all identifying the one thing, the one objective that they want to improve. They have very little problem identifying the 3 things that would have the greatest positive impact on improving that outcome. But when I ask them what 6 things that they're going to stop doing, this is what they say to me. "Dan, you don't understand. I can't stop doing anything. Everything that I'm doing is important." And I say to them, I do understand that everything you're doing is important, because you wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't important. But not everything is as important as everything else you're doing. Something is more important than something else in terms of improving your most important outcome. If we take everything that we're doing right now, and our plate is already full, and we try to add 3 more ideas on top of everything else we're already doing, all we end up doing is diluting the impact of all of our activities. And here's the real kicker. We need to be willing to let go of some activities first before we add the new activities. And that takes a lot of courage. It's a risk to let go of things that we've been doing that have been achieving certain level of results, to create room so that we can insert new ideas that can drive results even farther.